Alright, this is Sonic. I'm from Go AZ Motorcycles, KTM dealer in Scottsdale. We're doing part 3 of an engine teardown of a KTM RFS engine. So part 3, we're taking off the clutch cover today. So follow along, let's go to it. First, we're just going to remove the cover bolts. Next, we'll remove the cover. You may get some shafts that come out with it. Really doesn't matter exactly. Now the crankshaft is locked right now. So if you want to impact anything off, your primary nut or the clutch nut when we get there, make sure the crankshaft is locked. You have a locking bolt here that we install when we remove the top end. If you don't, the crankshaft will have a risk of spinning and damaging either the rod or the cases as it spins around. So that's something you want to make sure to have done whenever you impact anything off of the crank or anything that rotates. Since I have the crank locked right now, I'm going to back off the primary nut. Now this nut on most engines, KTM engines, is going to be reverse thread. So it's, instead of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, you tighten it to take it off. That's that. Primary gear, clutch, obviously. Next, we'll remove the clutch, or the pressure plate for the clutch. So there's your pressure plate. This will be your clutch push rod goes against this to push the pressure plate out and activate and deactivate the clutch. Next is your clutch primary or your clutch nut. It has a lock washer on it. If you look, you'll see tabs on it here and here that are bent over and keep it in case it does loosen or not torque properly. The tabs will keep it from backing off and damaging any components inside. Just take a punch. Knock them out of the way. Now we can remove the clutch nut. This is normal thread, and again, you want to make sure the crankshaft is locked. Very, very important. You can use a clutch holder tool, something similar to this, which has fingers that would lock in and hold the clutch for you as you take the nut off. But we have an impact, and if you leave the clutch plates in, there's enough friction that it will keep it from spinning and you can just back the nut off. So that's what I'm going to do now. I put a little pressure on the plates to keep them spinning. It's easy as that. So I'm going to remove the pressure plate and plates all at once. You always have to make sure you get the washer that's off the bottom. And that holds everything there. On these engines, you have this washer that holds two half moon washers. remove both of those, and that's the only way you can get the actual clutch basket out. Because if they were in, you wouldn't be able to do it. Now that I removed the clutch and everything, I inspect everything for wear. One really common wear item, which I'll show you right now, is these washers will get notched out. Can you see that? You can see the teeth groove from the splines on the shaft. And what happens there, that was either from over tightening of the clutch nut itself, and it squished down on these half moon washers, and that'll give you a real bad clutch dragging issue. So those need to get replaced when I rebuild the engine. Clutch basket, have your bearings, and a spacing washer. Now we can remove the starter components, the starter and immediate gear. We'll remove this oil pump and drive gear. There's a circlip. Don't lose the drive shaft. Hopefully this will come off today. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If they don't, I'll have to use a puller. It's not going to come off today. Okay. What I'm going to do is remove the shift shaft itself. You have a locking pawl. Remove that. And most importantly, you need to remove the washer that goes with it. Maybe. We'll see. So it's very important not to lose that washer. That's one of the most commonly forgotten or lost washers when you rebuild an engine. Next, we'll remove the oil pump, which is on this engine is one of two. Underneath that cover, you have your oil pump. You have your oil pump shaft, which actually goes through to the other side of the case, and I'll pull that oil pump out in a second. Don't lose your drive pin. And your oil pump itself. And I'm going to flip the motor over and we're going to get the other oil pump out. Clutch push rod. We'll leave that. So your other oil pump is right here. You have the drive pin for that pump. And oil pumps themselves, the inner and outer rotor.